Nikita Robin and welcome to SG Global News. From the Bishop of Lincoln, Nebraska's strong denunciation of a drag performance at the University of Nebraska, Lincoln, mocking the Catholic Mass, to the bone-chilling confessions of the suspect in the crucifixion-style murder of a U.S. pastor, we have many stories to cover. Bishop James Conley of Lincoln, Nebraska has strongly denounced a drag performance at the University of Nebraska, Lincoln, calling it disturbing and appalling for its mockery of the Catholic Mass. The event, titled Mass of Perpetual Indulgence, was presented as part of a doctoral dissertation by a student in the university's musical arts program. In a video of the performance posted on YouTube, a drag artist is seen performing near the front of the church while an orchestra plays on stage.
Bishop James Conley of Lincoln, Nebraska, condemned a drag mass performance orchestrated by a doctoral student in April this year for the final recital of his musical degree from the University of Nebraska. In a June 24 statement, Bishop Conley called the event a blatant public display of faith-based discrimination. Terming it offensive, the bishop said it should be condemned by the university, not applauded or rewarded. In an ex-post on June the 25th, the prelate reiterated that the performance mocking the Catholic Mass was both disturbing and appalling. Doctoral student Joseph Willett imitated various parts of the Mass, including the Kyrie, Gloria, Credo, Sanctus and Agnus Dei. In a video of the performance posted on YouTube, a drag artist is seen performing near the front of the church while an orchestra plays on stage. However, responding to the backlash from Catholics, Willett only defended his work. Following the performance, he went on to earn a doctorate of musical arts in composition at the Glen Coff School of Music. Bishop Conley called on the university to do more than ignore the vile display of hatred and to take action against the faculty who encouraged it. Bureau Report, Shekinah Global.
12 people, including children, were killed when gunmen opened fire during St. John the Baptist Feast Day celebrations in Irapuato, a city in Mexico's violence-plagued Guanajuato state. Revelers had gathered for the annual Catholic festivity when the attackers stormed the street and began shooting indiscriminately. President Claudia Sheinbaum has condemned the attack and ordered a full investigation into what she called a heinous multiple homicide. 12 people, including children, were killed when gunmen opened fire during St. John the Baptist Feast Day celebrations in the city of Irapuato in the Mexican state of Guanajuato. Witnesses say people were dancing and drinking in the street when armed assailants began shooting into the unsuspecting crowd. Speaking to Reuters, one witness said they were calmly enjoying a family party for San Juan's Day when the attackers appeared out of nowhere. The feast of St. John the Baptist, patron saint of water, is celebrated annually on June 24th and marks the onset of the monsoon season in parts of Latin America. Families typically gather for festive street parties in his honor. Mexican President Claudia Sheinbaum condemned the attack as an appalling multiple homicide and promised a thorough investigation. While initial reports counted 10 victims, Irapuato official Rodolfo Gomez Cervantes confirmed in a Wednesday news conference that the death toll has risen to 12. This last month, 7 young adults were killed during a festivity organized by the Catholic Church of San Bartolo de Berrios, also in Guanajuato. The state remains one of Mexico's most violent, plagued by clashes between rival organized crime groups vying for territorial control. Pope Leo XIV has expressed his deep closeness to Christians across the Middle East, acknowledging their suffering and steadfast faith amid ongoing turmoil. In a recent address, he urged the international community to renew its commitment to peace in the region and to extend concrete support to Syria's struggling population. The Pope's appeal comes at a time of heightened concern over the humanitarian crisis and continued instability in the war-torn nation. During his general audience on Wednesday, June 25th, Pope Leo XIV condemned the heinous terror attack against the Greek Orthodox community in the Church of Mar Elias in Damascus. He commended the victims to God's mercy and offered prayers for the wounded and their families. Expressing his solidarity with persecuted Christians in the Middle East, the Pope declared, quote, "I am close to you. The whole church is close to you," end quote. In his appeal at the end of the Wednesday catechesis, the Holy Father noted that Syria continues to suffer from profound fragility after years of conflict and instability. He therefore urged the international community to intervene in Syria through gestures of solidarity and a renewed commitment to peace and reconciliation. On December 8th, the Assad regime, having ruled Syria for nearly 6 decades, was toppled in a major offensive led by Hayat Tahrir al-Sham with support from the Turkish-backed Syrian National Army. Ahmed al-Shara, founder of Hayat Tahrir al-Sham and a former al-Qaeda affiliate, now heads the country, which remains gripped by instability. The Pope also addressed the broader volatility in the Middle East, stating that the Holy See is closely monitoring developments in Iran, Israel, and Palestine. He invoked the words of the prophet Isaiah, "Nation shall not lift up sword against nation, neither shall they learn war anymore," and urged all sides to choose the path of dialogue, diplomacy, and peace. The cast of The Chosen met with Pope Leo XIV during a papal audience held on June 25th in St. Peter's Square. Jonathan Rumi, the American actor who plays Jesus in the series, presented a gift to the Pope on behalf of the cast. A highlight of the day was the moment the Pope took a selfie with Rumi. The visit was part of the team's trip to the Vatican for the exclusive premiere of Season 5, which is set to stream this July.
American actor Jonathan Rumi, who portrays Jesus in the global hit series The Chosen, met Pope Leo XIV during the papal audience on June the 25th in St. Peter's Square. According to Catholic news agency, fellow cast members Elizabeth Tabish, George Xanthis, Vanessa Benavente, and other crew members accompanied the star. The meeting, part of the team's visit to the Vatican for the exclusive premiere of Season 5, set to stream in Italy this July, marked a key moment in their tour. Reuters reported that the papal reception followed the recent filming of crucifixion scenes for Season 6 in Matera, southern Italy. The town had also served as a stand-in for Jerusalem in Mel Gibson's The Passion of Christ. Photographs released by the Vatican show exchange of courtesies and shaking hands between the pontiff and the actor. He also presented a gift on behalf of the cast. People.com highlighted the moment of the day when the Pope snapped a selfie with Rumi that was also shared on Instagram. The artist told Vatican News that playing Jesus has deepened his Catholic faith, shaped by his Egyptian-Irish heritage. He called the meeting an immeasurable honor, making a spiritual milestone in a career that has touched nearly 300 million viewers worldwide. Bureau Report, Shekinah Global.
Cardinal Dominic Joseph Matthew, the Latin Archbishop of Tehran, Isfahan, has warned that the recent ceasefire between Israel and Iran is not enough to guarantee lasting peace. In a powerful reflection on the 12-day conflict, he said the calm was achieved through deterrence, not dialogue, and stressed the need for shared responsibility and spiritual renewal. The Cardinal urged global leaders and the Church to reject revenge, heal war-torn communities, and work together for genuine reconciliation built on justice and moral clarity. Cardinal Dominic Joseph Matthew, Latin Archbishop of Tehran, Isfahan, has urged collective accountability following a fragile ceasefire between Israel and Iran, according to a report by sgnews on June 25th. In his latest war diary, the Cardinal wrote about the 12-day conflict that only subsided after U.S. diplomatic pressure. He highlighted that the situation remains stable through enforced deterrence rather than mutual understanding. He further added that post-ceasefire, the relief is affected by lingering tension, ongoing defense preparedness, and persistent hostility between the countries. While rejecting the mindset of dominance and revenge, he emphasized that lasting peace requires an active moral effort, including nurturing the spirit and purifying hearts. He compared the situation to gardening by warning that focusing solely on individual growth can damage the shared environment, and called for collective efforts rooted in love, justice, and understanding. Additionally, he called on the international community, faith leaders, and policymakers to look beyond short-term peace and pursue true reconciliation, stressing the importance of universal responsibility, cooperation, and moral clarity. He concluded that only such commitments would heal war-torn communities and pave the way for a future grounded in peace, justice, and spiritual unity, with the Church playing a vital role in mending wounds and encouraging people to live together in harmony. The Archbishop of Saurimo, Jose Manuel Imbamba, has urged Angolan authorities to criminalize the practice of divination, warning that fortune tellers and clairvoyants are harming families and hindering the country's development. Speaking at the end of a pastoral visit, he emphasized the need to move away from superstitions, calling instead for a society guided by knowledge, science and reason. As president of the Bishops' Conference of Angola and Sao Tome, he stressed that oppressive customs disguised as culture must be reformed through legal action. Archbishop of Sorremo, Jose Manuel Imbamba, has called on the authorities to urgently criminalize divination in Angola. According to Agencia Fides, Archbishop Imbamba voiced his concern while speaking to journalists at the end of a pastoral visit. Referring to the strong influence of diviners, fortune-tellers, and clairvoyants on the population, the Archbishop said they were destroying communities, dividing families, and hindering development. Citing that even educated people still cling to superstitious practices, he emphasized that mystical objects and rituals do not give life, wealth, or fame. The Angolan Catholic bishop, who serves as the president of the Bishops' Conference of Angola and Sao Tome and Principe, insisted that society must break free from the myths and falsehoods that make them believe death is always caused by someone else. He urged that society must be in turn led by knowledge, science and reason. Calling for legal intervention, Archbishop Mbamba said, quote, "This issue is often brushed aside as part of customary law, but we must reform these customs. Culture should liberate, not oppress." End quote. A new TikTok account is gaining traction for creatively retelling Bible stories in the style of video blogs. The account, Holy Vlogs, features AI-generated biblical characters who speak directly to the camera, mimicking the familiar format of YouTube and TikTok vlogs. The videos are produced using Google's latest AI video tool, Veo 3. Launched just last month, the account has already attracted over 435,000 followers and amassed millions of views.
Have you ever wondered what it would like if modern technology existed during the time of Old and New Testaments? A new trend on TikTok is going viral for doing just that, reimagining iconic Bible stories as daily vlogs. The trend has captured the attention of social media users across platforms, with several videos surfacing online and quickly gaining millions of views. The account behind the buzz, Holy Vlogs, blends humor, storytelling, and AI-generated visuals to bring biblical characters to life as if they were modern-day influencers. Picture David recounting his battle with Goliath through a front-facing camera, talking to his followers like a seasoned content creator. Meanwhile, Goliath posts his own updates, sharing his morning routine and even pausing mid-fight to tell the viewers, "This kid actually knocked me down." Other familiar biblical figures also make appearances. Daniel vlogs from the lion's den, Jonah checks in from inside the whale, and Moses speaks to the camera while parting the Red Sea, joking, "Guys, the sea literally opened up, I'll explain later." And no, this path isn't on Google Maps. The account Holy Vlogs uses AI to generate vlogs of Bible characters who speak directly to the viewers. These clips are created using Google's advanced AI video tool Veo 3, which allows for realistic dialogue, lifelike lip syncing, and immersive sound effects. Since launching just last month, the account has already gained over 435,000 followers and racked up millions of views. Although the concept has sparked mixed reactions, not everyone received the trend positively. On Platform X, several users criticized the videos, calling them a form of harassment against religious symbols. Some even described them as an insult to the prophet and the sacred figure. Others, however, view the trend as a creative and compelling way to engage with ancient stories through a modern lens.
From his cell in Coconino County Jail, 51-year-old Atman Christopher Sheaf made a chilling confession. He admitted to murdering 67-year-old pastor William Bill Shonman in the pastor's Arizona home. Sheaf also revealed a disturbing plan to kill 14 additional pastors, claiming he believed Christian leaders were deceiving their congregations. Showing no remorse, the suspect stated he had no regrets about his actions or words.
A suspect accused by police of crucifying an elderly pastor in his Arizona home has been reportedly made a chilling confession, admitting to the horrific crime. During the confession, he revealed a hit list containing the names of approximately 14 religious leaders across the country whom he had planned to kill before his arrest. According to Maricopa County Sheriff's Deputy Will Jinks, on April 28, 67-year-old pastor William Bill Shonman was found in his Arizona home with significant injuries, his hands stretched out and pinned to the wall in a crucifixion-like pose. In June, the Maricopa County Sheriff's Office identified 51-year-old Adam Christoph Sheff as a potential suspect. In an exclusive interview with Arizona's ABC 15, Sheff explained the gruesome killing and shared his plan to murder 14 other pastors, starting with 4 in Arizona. Sheff, a California resident, embarked on a cross-country road trip to target religious leaders shortly after being released early from federal prison. According to the interview, he even prepared thorn crowns for his victims' crucifixions and intended to leave a copy of the 10 Commandments with each one. He chose to begin his killing spree in Arizona, the state where he had been baptized as a child. According to the suspect, his actions were driven by the belief that Christian pastors and leaders were misleading their followers, though he insisted he does not hate Christians.
And then I just followed him home. And then I returned on Sunday to execute and crucify him to this wall.
Initially, he had intended to attack a different pastor, but changed his mind after seeing the man with his family. He then claimed to have selected conman at random after seeing him in the community. Sheff said he suffocated conman before posing his body to resemble a crucifixion, adding that this was his intended method for all his victims because he was making a statement. He also stated that he didn't feel called by God to carry out these horrific acts, but believed that God would ultimately forgive him. He denied being mentally unwell and said he was not sorry for what he had done or said. The suspect's father, Chris Sheff, said his son had a long criminal history and had recently become obsessed with the Old Testament. He also noted that they were not in regular contact. Sheff is currently being held at Coconino County Jail on charges unrelated to death. He was arrested for breaking into homes in the area. Although he has not yet been formally charged with the pastor's murder, authorities expect he will be extradited to Maricopa County. He also confessed the crime to the FBI and told agents he wanted the death penalty. In response to the suspect's disturbing statements, Conman's family released a statement expressing concern that he is enjoying the attention. He has clearly stated his intentions to continue his mission. From the beginning, our focus has been to stop the suspect before anyone else got hurt. We see the surge of media attention and his ability to communicate freely as a very serious threat to that end, the statement read. Authorities have briefed faith leaders on Sheff's hit list and are currently coordinating with other law enforcement agencies to evaluate any additional threats or related incidents. Bureau Report, Shekinah Global.
That's all for today. Until we meet again, God bless and thank you.